Welcome to Space News. I'm Braden.
I'm Jan.
And I'm deaf.
Am I really loud or something?
Just fucking came in flying, guns a blazing. We were like 101.1 Silk FM here to start. Me and the boys just having a quick discussion on what we're going to talk about. And then you just come in blasting like Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, you did.
It's fucking aggressive.
Zell's not here because his tummy hurts. So, and listen, let's be real here. I'm gonna expose the chats. Expose the DMs here. Zell said, and I quote, he couldn't come on today because he's so sick that he couldn't, like the flu so bad that he couldn't get out of bed, which means he's shitting in the bed right now.
Swimming in shit.
He's literally shitting the bed.
He's probably got the bucket.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
He's probably got the garage bucket.
That's true.
I mean, maybe he's got one of Nova's diapers on the front and on the back.
Just like taped together.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I offered to cure him. He didn't want nothing to do with it.
Nope.
He just didn't want to be on the pod.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Some guys, just can't hack it. Got a bunch of people in the chat. Astro Cat Gaming, Jake Dallum, Night Archer TV, Brandon Amata, Duchess of Doobies. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining us for this week's Space News. Dan, did you have a fun little intro?
I did, because this edition of Space News, we've got near-Earth object observation, super laser propulsion innovations, magnetic anomaly propagations, cosmic visitor explanations, and more.
Shit.
Coming up.
Spit on him, Dan.
Space News.
Yeah. You know what we also, all three of us probably forgot to do? Did anyone here start the recording?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Let's do that. Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
We just blasted in here so fast.
Yeah.
Because we're like, let's go.
You threw us off to begin with because you're like, do you guys have anything prepared? Nope.
And you're like,
All
okay,
right,
let's do
go.
this.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. We do a countdown or just go for it?
3, 2, 1. Do it.
Doing
Start from there. Maybe I'll pull the YouTube audio off for the first bit, or we can just restart it one more time. I'll bring it in a little sexier.
Give it a go.
Do whatever you want to do, buddy.
All right, hold on. Bring.
I thought you were gonna.
Welcome to Space News. I'm Braden.
I'm Dan.
And for the second time, I'm Andrew.
We've got near-Earth object observation, super laser propulsion innovations, magnetic anomaly propagations, cosmic visitor explanations, and more on this edition of Space News.
He's weak on mom spaghetti, all that shit. That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, getting right into it. It's been a busy week. It's going to be. It was a busy week last week for the theorists. Busy week coming up for the theorists. We're having two new theorists join us. My little ones joined us now, and Andrew's currently on baby watch. So we'll see what happens here. If we get through any of all of this, we'll see what happens. But let's get right into some space news. What's going on in space?
Let's see. So this week we had a once-in-a-decade event that is occurring right now as we have an asteroid named DZ2, or 2020 number 2023 DZ2, which is apparently about it's about 40 to
DZ
70
for the Canadians.
Yeah.
You're wondering what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. This object apparently is about. Well, usually, I guess scientists like to give relative sizes. It is about 20 to 30 meters in like 27 30 meters wide, which apparently is roughly the size of the Parthenon. Like, is a weird comparison that they put in one of the articles.
Another weird comparison I saw online was that it's 69 American alligators end to end. And I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like, that's phenomenal. Anything other than
the metric system.
right?
Yeah. I like the size of the Parthenon is a weird comparison because I feel like it's like how many people have been to the, I mean, it's a tourist attraction, but like how many of your average person reading an internet article is like, oh yeah, okay. Like, yeah, I get it. How big that is. Like,
I think everybody just assumes it's really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this asteroid were to collide with Earth, it would it's kind of classified as big enough that it would wipe out a large city, if it were to strike Earth, but it will not. This object is passing within.
Hey, listen, I was about to speed dial every single Albertan I knew, get them ready on standby, fucking drill into that thing and blow it up.
Yeah.
This one's going to pass about 175,000 kilometers from Earth, but it's traveling at a pretty good clip. It's about 28,000 kilometers per hour, so that's 17,400 miles per hour for those of us in the USA.
I love how they were calling this. They were like, this event was going to be used as a planetary defense practice. And they did, in fact, find out that it was much easier to train NASA astronauts to do the work of drillers than to teach the drillers to do the work of astronauts. It turns out anyone can do the drilling.
None of them fucking passed the piss test. That's why.
Yeah, to go to space. They couldn't find him. The other thing I always laughed, I was just like, they're just pointing guns at this thing, like, oh yeah, you better keep moving. That was it. Like that was a test. We didn't blow it up. We didn't do anything. We watched it go by. We're like, that was a That was a warning to all you asteroids out there.
Well, the actual exercise that they've gone through is that they had set the goal in order to see how much they could find out about the asteroid in only a week. So if you only had a week to kind of analyze and figure out
what to find out where its family lives.
Well, they needed to know. Well, they needed to know how many fucking American alligators it was.
Yeah, exactly.
It took a week.
Shit. They're like, oh shit, boys, you're not gonna believe this. I've done that calculations. 69 what? American alligators, end to end. They're like,
buddy, that's got to be at least.
God damn it, Jim.
10 Parthenons, right?
Yeah. I like how there's a scientist in the room like, it's almost the size as Parthenon, and he's like, tell me that in terms I would understand.
God damn it!
How many alligators are we talking?
Next one.
What about fucking like? Is Space Force still a thing?
It is.
Like, why shouldn't they be taking care of this shit? Don't they? They got to have lasers by now.
Well, they've got their own deals.
Do you remember like the end of, like G.I. Joes? They were really like at the end in the fucking early 90s. They were grasping at straws because nobody's buying G.I. Joes anymore. So they put out those shitty space ones. I feel like that's what our Space Force looks like. Yeah, like our shitty. That's our Space Force.
I think technically Space Force really kind of extends only to like low Earth orbit. I feel like it's not all the way out there. Like I think there's probably an area of there's probably an AO about like distance from the surface of Earth that they operate, and maybe that's just too far. That's just outside their jurisdiction at that point.
It's interesting for sure that we're getting better at tracking these things, and now we're trying to figure out what to do when the one's coming to wipe us off the face of the universe.
Next, NASA had a little competition in order to find funding for a number of new projects for them to kind of work on. And one of the projects to come out of this was a radical propulsion concept that apparently would give us the ability to have like large, maybe about 1 ton objects accelerating to interstellar space in under 5 years, right? Which is a radical concept that hasn't really been explored. Like you have, for example, like you have the Voyager 1 probe. It took 35 years just to make it to like outside the solar system, right? So cutting that down would be a big leap, big advancement.
It's kind of cool that like as you send these things off drifting in space, and as you get better and better at, more efficient in your propulsion systems and stuff, chances are you're going to catch and surpass the stuff that we've already sent out in space, like in quicker and quicker time. So it was I was like, oh, that's a cool thought. that humans in another 50 years could be on a spacecraft zipping by. They're like, oh, and on your left, that's the Voyager 1 probe drifting. We'll swing by, take a quick peek, snap some pictures, and off we go.
Like apparently this concept that they're developing is known as pellet beam propulsion. It actually resembles another method of propulsion which we've kind of been looking at. Like people can probably recall the idea of the light sail, which has kind of been it's been a popular. Right. So basically shooting a high power laser at like an object that's kind of attached to like a low density, sail, and then kind of pushing it out, and then you could accelerate it to, whatever speed that you want to get it to. Now this one actually would be to work. Basically it is you need two spacecraft to do it. You got one that would set off for interstellar space, and you have another that would sit in Earth's orbit. Now, the spacecraft that's orbiting Earth would shoot a beam of tiny microscopic particles at the interstellar spacecraft. And these particles would be heated up by lasers, which would cause part of them to actually melt into plasma that would accelerate them even faster and further.
And then they just basically hit the object that's already traveling.
Well, yeah, the pellets would probably reach around speeds about 120 kilometers per second. And then they would hit the sail of the interstellar spacecraft, or potentially they could even repel a magnet that's contained within it, and then it would propel this spacecraft to huge speeds, just taking it up.
I guess because as it would go, just little pushes would just increase its speed slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly until it's just it's going just unbelievably fast.
So this concept is only on paper right now. There's no real kind of practical stuff. But the interesting thing is that this was actually 14. This was one of 14 of other projects that were funded at the early stage. It got about $175,000 from NASA as a grant to kind of develop this further. But there were 14 other projects, and here's a couple of the other ones that I found that were kind of super interesting. They have one called biomineralization enabled self-growing building blocks for habitat outfitting on Mars, which when you read into it, it's really kind of neat. Essentially, it is growing building materials. You would take a fungus or a lichen or something like that, and you would use that organism to kind of grow stuff like calcium carbonate blocks and stuff like that. It's because you wouldn't be able to use, you might not be able to use the Mars regolith and stuff like that on the moon. You could just grow your building materials essentially.
Now, on a separate note, have either of you guys seen Kiefer Sutherland's new show, Rabbit Hole?
He's back, eh?
I don't know why that popped into my head.
Maybe
it's the 100,000 targeted ads that I have.
His 24 money ran out. He's back.
What, did his restraining orders end from attacking people, and then he's getting?
He attacks people? What?
Didn't he? Wasn't Kiefer Sutherland just famous for attacking people? Maybe I did.
Well, I mean,
that was Russell Crowe.
To be fair,
Russell
Crowe. But to be fair, he is a vampire.
Yeah, that's true.
So
no, it's cool that we're starting to invest more in this. In propulsion technologies. I mean, most of the stuff requires us to get in space already. But it's gonna be wild to see what we come up with in the next 30 years. Thanks, LKS Cali. I do have the voice of an angel, and I don't get enough credit for it.
That is a fucking lie. Oh my god.
Yeah. This is what heaven sounds like.
Why are my ears bleeding? That's what I want to know. Fucking stigmata or whatever. Fuck.
So NASA is also keeping an eye on what is apparently a huge growing anomaly within our own planet's magnetic field.
I'm done with anomalies. Listen, I thought we just repaired the hole, right?
That's the ozone.
Right?
That's the ozone, yeah.
And now we got some issues. We got potholes in the magnetic field. Right? This is unbelievable. Yeah. I can't worry about all this stuff, right? I want to leave the we got to repair these potholes because I want to leave the magnetic field for my son the same way it was when I was a kid.
This anomaly is what they've labeled the South Atlantic anomaly, and apparently they've kind of been tracking it for years using satellites and spacecraft, and so it poses mostly a threat to like stuff out in orbit, not humans, so you don't have to worry about that. It doesn't really affect your everyday life, but it does pose some interesting challenges for craft that would be outside, away from like the atmosphere, outside the atmosphere, and then in that kind of low Earth orbit. Because if you have these areas of weakened magnetic field, which protects them from a lot of the cosmic rays and the stuff that the radiation that the sun shoots off every now and then, those things can kind of cause things like electrical shorts. It can cause you're going to need increased durability on some of your systems, which when they're exposed to that type of stuff. Now, apparently, like this magnetic anomaly is it's theorized that the primary source is basically the Earth itself, that there is this swirling ocean of molten iron inside the Earth's outer core.
Are you telling me the core stopped?
Well, no.
Oh,
it's still moving. That it's moving is what's making this kind of interesting, because because it's moving, it used to be one, like kind of like they were able to track this one south, with what we're talking about, the single anomaly. But now what they found is that it actually seems to be breaking into two. It's like anomaly mitosis, that it's like breaking off into two distinct cells of magnetic magnetic weakening, essentially.
So my understanding is that the biggest issue right now for us is that these are like our satellites going through this zone. The ISS, can get hit by these harmful particles from the sun and short circuit, have tons of technical issues, which can obviously cause, if on the ISS certain things go down, catastrophic consequences.
It's something to keep an eye on. Like I said, it's right now they don't consider it like an immediate danger. It's just something to be aware of, and that if you're passing through that, the way that the ISS orbit works, they have to be aware of it, and that just keep an extra eye out for on their systems and things like that.
You know what? Just when you're traveling through, South America, is it South America or South Africa?
It's over like between South America and Southwest Africa.
Okay, when you're traveling through there in space, just roll up your windows.
Yeah.
Lock your doors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all you got.
It's a bad part of the neighborhood.
Bad part. Yeah.
So the next one we have up here is that we're still looking at Oumuamua. We're back to Oumuamua, and
yeah.
Some scientists have come up with another model as they keep trying to figure. They have been still attempting to figure out what caused the mysterious kind of mysterious increase in acceleration, which a lot of a number of researchers kind of said that perhaps that Oumuamua is some type of artificial craft, that it had done its job, and then this increased acceleration was to get it back outside the system, essentially. Now.
Space farts, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's what the model is kind of confirmed to some extent. Now, according to astrochemist Jennifer Bergner of the University of California, Berkeley, and the astrophysicist Daryl Seligman of Cornell University, they have evidence that this, Oumuamua, that tube-shaped chunk of rock, pretty much. It probably began as like a planet seed or a planetesimal or piece of a tiny pseudo planet, and then it got kicked off,
absolutely blasted into deep space.
Right, which is something that we know has happened in here, our solar system at some point, like the Earth, like we had the moon, giant piece of the moon that smacked into Earth back when it was first forming. We have a lot of evidence to support that idea, and then. With Oumuamua, even though its motion is something that scientists found very unique, because it spins as it goes, and they said that the motion is like akin to like a bottle on its side. That's what you imagine. Like it's just kind of spinning, like it's like a all the way down there. And then uh, the object didn't seem to contain any ice or anything like that we could get from, or, probably hitting it with a number of like radio spectrometers and things like that, trying to figure out
lots of squints through telescopes.
So it didn't contain any ice like a comet would. And so, normally like the comets can, when the ice kind of breaks off and whatever, and it's, gets close to the sun, that ice will melt, and then, kind of further those gases that are contained within the ice will, give it a propulsion and also make it look really cool. But we didn't get that with Oumuamua. What they're guessing and what they found is that like the model that they came up with originally didn't really seem to fit with the idea that it was kind of giving off like water, like it was burning off ice. It
was moving too fast. It was moving all their like Oumuamua was moving too fast for all their models that had to do with water and what we know about those kind of gases explaining those. Like we could only explain up like 50% of its acceleration to those kind of ice molecules breaking down and gas escaping that way. So it didn't quite fit the bill, which is why a lot of people, including our friend Avi Loeb, had been like, fucking aliens.
So in 2020, Seligman co-authored a paper that proposed that Oumuamua's acceleration could actually be attributed to the sublimation of molecular hydrogen, H2. Molecular hydrogen is actually very difficult to see in space because it doesn't emit or reflect light, so you can't really see that it's there. You can't see
it, and we can't. It's not like they can go back and check now because it's so far away that they're like, we only have what we had when it was coming through, and we weren't really looking for this. But this might explain why the acceleration when it passed the sun. These things were heated up, and it started having little hydrogen farts.
So with what they kind of explain is that we have an existing body of experimental evidence that shows that when you process water, the processing of water ice can consistently and efficiently separate out H2, and so that H2 will actually remain trapped in the water matrix until it's actually heated up, reaches a range of temperatures, and then as the water is heated, the molecular hydrogen escapes, and therefore producing, propulsion. So, I think a lot of people were like, for me, I had to kind of remember that when you're out in space, yes, it is low, zero pressure vacuum, that ice isn't hard to kind of, it'll stay there, and it doesn't take much temperature change in order for that ice to start kind of melting and those processes to take place, So it's, it's kind of cool. So what they said is that when they put this model, like they ran this model through, it kind of ticked all of the boxes. This, propulsion via, molecular hydrogen. It kind of ticked all the boxes to be like, that's what we saw. Like that's what happened. It matches exactly what Oumuamua did. So it's like, we can't be 100% sure because it wasn't right on there, but it seems that model kind of matches up with what happened, what we saw happen.
Yeah, and it's cool that we can look at these things and then we have the technology to kind of make these models to try to figure it out after the fact. It's unfortunate that we didn't have all this information when it was coming through, because then we could have just confirmed it. But until then, aliens, still a possibility. Just saying. Two leading theories: aliens or hydrogen.
And if you're lucky enough to watch this live right now, you're gonna have 5 days where you're gonna see 5 of our planets align in the sky. Get those
crystals and spells ready.
Yeah, get ready for the Titans to be released from their prison. Call up your buddy Hercules. Make sure he's on deck for when they usher in the apocalypse, and he can put them back into their prison.
So it's Jupiter, Mercury, Uranus, Mars, and Venus. They're gonna arc through the skyline. You're gonna have to have really ideal, perfect conditions to catch them all. And around the 28th, 29th, more than likely Jupiter's gonna dip below the horizon for anyone trying to view this before you get a good look at it. So if you're listening to this now, might be a good time to step outside tonight and get a peek of this. And if you're listening to this Wednesday, What day's Wednesday? You got one
It's the
tonight.
third day.
Yeah,
It's the third day.
yeah. If you got Wednesday, get out there while you're listening to this, and you might still catch it. So it's always cool. I mean, that's not going to happen for another 150 million years. So if you miss it, don't worry, it'll be around again.
Yeah.
I just made that number up because it's usually something crazy. But,
yeah, it's like 150 million years.
I just made that number up. The number is inconsequential because everyone listening to this will be dead. So it doesn't matter. I can say whatever number I want. That's over 1,000. Right? So,
Okay.
100. What did I say? 150 million years.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that for some reason I just had that in my head. I don't know, but I'm gonna fire up the randomatron here. My camera might go out, and then we'll see what it spits out here.
That sounds good.
I think
Whoa.
the randomtron cut out a little early.
Did it?
Caught you.
Yeah. Oh, did it?
It caught you. Yeah, a
Shoot.
little wet.
It spit out a nerds. Specifically commenting on Last of Us. Have you guys had the pleasure of watching Last of Us? Zell must
I have not.
Zell must have plugged this one in. I would say, as far as video game adaptations go, this is the best video game adaptation we've ever got.
Aside from the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, we've said this many a times. The Mario Brothers movie is the best comic book or the best video game adaptation. But I mean, they were using in the HBO series. I would highly recommend it. They're using, the same costumes, like same outfits as they have shots, little throwbacks of little tap A to move bookshelf kind of shit. Throwing those kind of little Easter eggs in the show for people who are playing the game. But it kind of begs the question, like now that we're starting to, for a long time, people didn't really like these video game stories when they adapt them. They're like, yeah, this was, we could do this, but we got to add some shit to it because no one's going to believe this. No, like they just never really stuck to the source material. So now that we're starting to see, especially with Last of Us, this kind of success, what do you guys think video game, story you would like to see be brought into?
I'm actually fucking shocked that the only Zelda adaptation we've gotten is that fucking cartoon from the 90s, which was really good, a little bit misogynistic, but it was fucking great. But I'm shocked.
The Zelda cartoon?
Yeah, it was great.
Which was wasn't that part of the Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
The Mario Brothers
Yeah,
TV show?
every once in a while I'd be like, stay tuned for another episode of Legend of Zelda, and then it would fucking play. But that's all we've gotten so far. I can't believe that we don't have a live action Zelda yet.
I think
That's shocking to me.
That's one of those ones too, because you could just do seasons of different stories, right? Of the different games, right? It would be quite easy to do a season on Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight
Dude, could
Princess.
you imagine they do Ocarina of Time and you start as young Link?
Yeah.
Take a break, then come back and he's grown up. Like, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it would. I do agree that you could. It would be an interesting one to see them bring in. Anyways, Dan, what do you think?
There is some. I guess there's been an increase in probably the quality of video game adaptations over the years. I think just it's the problem with the productions that a lot of some of these things face. Like for take the Halo, the Halo debacle or whatever you want to call it. Maybe there's some people out here that liked it. I think there's a season 2 somewhere. I think I heard rumblings maybe. But it's a very, like, a lot of these things, like they get these video games and it's like they just want the IP. They don't necessarily want to they don't want to tell like the story. They don't want to do that. So they don't want to write a script for it really to like fill in the blanks and all that stuff. So they just like they'll take like what I was hearing is like they'll take some generic script like Halo, like they'll take some generic sci-fi script that they bought for like pennies on the dollar from some dude at a fucking Starbucks or something and just be like, yeah, we'll just use this. Like we'll just use this and then put Master Chief in it.
Yeah,
This guy's
Chief
Master
is
Chief.
he is the main character.
He's
Master
generic.
Chief.
He's generic everyman. This guy's character, generic dude, whatever, you know. And they'll just kind of mash them together and just be like, we really just want the name. We just want the character names and stuff like that. And then we don't give a shit about the script. It's still gonna make money. It's still going to be whatever. There's probably advantages to them running the long form ones now. So if you're running a whole season of TV show, it's probably easier to tell like a cohesive story over those things. But yeah, you know, people seem to really like the Last of Us. But I would also say the Last of Us is kind of like it's more of a drama than a video game. Like it's more like you're playing a movie anyways. It's more of a cinematic experience, that cinematic, interactive cinematic experience than an actual video game. Because it's like if you're going to do like.
Well, Uncharted's the same kind of game, and that movie fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Is that the one they did with Tom Holland and Mackie Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mackie Mac.
But that's the same kind of thing. No, it was terrible.
Both those fucking
those,
short kings. I love both those fucking guys.
Those games are same thing, kind of the cinematic playthroughs, right? So it's
yeah, but like what are we talking? Like who made Uncharted? Who made fucking Halo? We're talking what is that? Last of Us or what is it called?
Last of Us.
Last of Us. That's fucking HBO.
Yeah.
That's peak television.
Okay, so that's
the best of the best, the best, sir.
So Dan, HBO's they've called Maester Daniel, and they said, Maester Dan, give us a video game we're going to adapt properly. What's the video game that you want to see on the screen?
We already did a Castlevania. Actually, the Castlevania one's actually pretty good. The animated series. But if you're saying live action.
Big budget, HBO, Sunday nights,
everything,
prime time.
Everything.
Oh wait, they did Resident Evil already, and that was terrible.
Pick some. You got to pick something kind of sexy because you know there's gonna be tons of boobs on it if it's HBO.
Yeah. Obviously, you need tons of titties.
Yeah, has to.
It's not TV. It's HBO. Come on.
Could be. Well, but think about it, like it doesn't necessarily have to be HBO because it could be Disney because they could do Knights of the Old Republic, which would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that would be good.
Right?
That's a good one. I never thought about that. That was a fucking phenomenal storyline. I would love to see that. Some Darth Revan and Darth Malak. That would be
badass.
All right. Well, Dan, since you can't think of one, you're really struggling. You know what I would like to see?
Earthworm Jim.
Well, there's two.
Oh, it's a TV show.
Yeah, Earthworm Jim.
I'm talking to HBO Earthworm Jim though.
Yeah,
I could see Dragon Age doing well if they followed the source material. Like that game was phenomenal. Like the story, I think that would play well on a long form TV show. Let's discuss some of these good ones in the chat here. Duchess of Doobie says Crash Bandicoot. What is that? What is Crash? Which one's like? Are they one? Because it's like the bird in the backpack, right? And they flip around.
That's Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah,
that's Banjo Kazooie.
Crash Bandicoot's the fucking orange dude.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, I remember Crash Bandicoot. How? I you know what? I don't think
I could go for a Banjo Kazooie. Like,
yeah,
what is like a HBO gritty adaptation of?
Yeah. Brandon Amata said Red Dead Redemption. That's a good one. Sure. I'm not a big Western guy though. I don't know if it would.
Oh, good Western. There's nothing better than a good Western.
Silver Lotus said Ratchet and Clank. I've never played Ratchet.
The Ratchet and Clank movie is actually pretty funny. Like I watched that one. Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
What else do we have? And someone said Duke Nukem, and
HBO tons of boobs.
Duchess of Doobie said GTA, obviously for the titties. So those are some good ones. Oddly enough, the Randomtron spit out something else too. All right. Did you guys
double dipping?
Did you guys get one too, or was it just me?
I think I might have got one too.
Dan, did you get one too, or was it just me? And
I think I think you do it. You got to read yours first because I don't even know how to do this.
This is they spit us out some 1-star reviewers. The review I got is from Farmhouse Thai. Farmhouse Thai is a little Thai coffee tea cocktail bar. Where? San Francisco, I think. I don't really know. It doesn't tell me. It just is giving me a 1-star review. So if you're in the San Francisco area, go try out Farmhouse Thai and see if this 1-star review was warranted. This 1-star review is from Lauren. Shame on you, Lauren. And this is how I imagined she would have written this. Too long didn't read. If you're here for the experience and expect to pay money for mediocre food, coming in, you know you're here for the experience and ambiance. It's very well decorated and Instagrammable. They even have a photo op area decorated with flowers, a light ring, and then a neon sign. Once we were sat down, we were told to scan the QR code for the menu. To be honest, I'm not a fan of this. So I asked for a physical menu. The menu seemed to have 2 different options. The over 40 dinner set and the generic dishes like pad thai. Pad thai is not a generic dish. It's a good dish.
Unless you're in Thailand, you never know.
Maybe it's a good dish, Lauren. You're at a fucking Thai food place.
In Thailand, so it's generic.
There's no chicken nuggets.
Is that what she said? Is that on there?
No, I added that, but it could be.
That's great.
It could be.
What the fuck?
My friends and I opted for the cheaper options, which might have been a mistake. I got spicy chicken noodle soup with the spicy sauce on the side. I also had to fight the server. What?
Like a fist fight?
I don't know. Listen. I'm looking at a picture of Lauren. Lauren's not fighting anyone. All right.
I don't think this. I'm gonna tell you right now. This isn't Lauren. This is fucking LSP. Do you know who LSP is?
No.
This is Lumpy Space Princess.
Oh, is it?
You need to look. You're nailing Lumpy Space Princess's voice.
I originally wanted medium spicy, but he said the soup could only be extra spicy or not at all. Why can't you have it in the middle if you have 2 ends of the spectrum? So I settled for no spice, and I talked to someone else for hot sauce. Chicken noodle soup for $22? Disappointed. The chicken was bland and overcooked. The soup was just chicken bouillon broth. And it was soapy, and not the cilantro type of soapy. What the fuck does that mean? Cilantro type of soapy? I could have gone to a pho shop and got better chicken soup for half the price. It's like 8 small pieces of chicken noodle and water for $22. I feel like I got robbed. Veggie tofu noodle soup, $21. Just as disappointing, but with the veggies. The fried tofu bites were very spongy and flavorless. Veggies were a bit undercooked, and the broth tastes like it came from a can. Save your money, go somewhere else, because they can't cook a simple dish of chicken noodle soup. I doubt the pricier dinner sets would be any good either. That's
just a little flair of a new accent on the end with the
I
there.
did.
That was good. Yeah, I like that. It's a good way to finish it.
Yeah, Lauren, suck it for your 1-star review. Farmhouse Thai, honestly, it's a 4-star restaurant. It's got tons of good reviews, but that's the one the Randomatron spat up for me. What did it spit out for you, Andrew?
Oh, I don't know if I did this right. The Randomatron, fucking.
Yeah. Well, what did it spit out for you?
I don't have a name I don't know where this is, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I think this place sells corn. All right. This is by a Lola K.
Yeah.
So you have to do a fake voice?
Why I like to read it in the voice that I think they was in their head when they wrote it.
Okay.
I went out with friends on a Friday night. My dear Elise ordered corn with her meal and never got it. She even reminded the waitress twice, but they never brought it out. Here, or 2 days later, and Elise misses her corn and still wants some.
That's it. That's a review. 1 star. Lola K.
They're still waiting.
They're waiting for their corn.
What? So they left though. They obviously left.
There is another review for this place though. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Kid friendliness.
My friend is a child who is disrespected. They took away her freedom to eat corn.
The end.
What is this place, and why are they not? Give the people the corn.
I know. I don't get it.
This is unbelievable.
Just bunch of fucking
they
corn teasers.
My friend is hold on. My friend is a child, and they disrespected her.
No, my friend. Oh, my friend is a child who was disrespected. Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
is this man, and why is he friends with the child? Those are like
Kid
I have so many
friendliness.
questions. Yeah.
Guy's a part of fucking NAMBLA. For sure.
Next, let's go before we sign off here. If you're not on our social media, you're not on the Facebook group. We get some, interesting memes and stuff. So these are the most, the most popular memes or posts on the Facebook group from the last 2 weeks. First off, we've got this picture here. See three people. You got first, second, and a third there, and this is from Bob Grandel, and it says, "So while looking through my game cam pics today, this kind of gave me chills. That's me in the front, then my daughter Cheyenne, and we don't know who the third is.
What? No.
Zooming in,
that's
you can't make out a face, and
No,
the
no,
body
no,
is
no.
transparent. We even compared it to the other pics, and you can see the branches through them.
no way.
I think I need to call the Ghostbusters. Yeah, you see
Mother-
that, like, you see that.
Listen,
that's
If you're being like you didn't fuck with that and it's not whatever, you need to sage every single ounce of everything that you have and douse yourselves in holy water because that is fucked.
that's terrifying.
Oh my god, that's a person.
Yeah, it definitely looks like
Wearing a hat.
A hat. It's
Yeah, he's got
Batman.
a little-
That's Rorschach.
He's got a fucking Elmer Fudd hat on. He's going
Yeah.
hunting with you. He looks like he's
Yeah.
holding a fucking rifle. Like that's
That's just Rorschach casted through Space and Time by Dr. Manhattan. He's now
Rorschach.
Yeah, Rorschach.
Rorschach. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Rorschach.
What else?
Rorschach.
We got here?
Is
This
that
is
is,
a good one.
Ro- is that pronounced properly? Or is it Rorschach?
Rorschach.
Joseph Nod.
Rorschach?
Rorschach.
Andrew, you got disrespected on this one. It says dwarf-handed crayon.
Hey, listen.
Coloring book.
I
Couple set down
absolutely,
for romantic dinner.
I absolutely got disrespected on that. My
And
wife
she's like,
is
I was
way
interviewed for this.
hotter.
I was
My
interviewed
wife
for
is
this.
way better looking than that lady.
Yeah, this is true.
All right. That's
And Andrew, this would have been a Montana, so it's totally acceptable.
I could
to
draw on the
on
tables.
the table there.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at that. Listen, I great. Other than you're memeing me with fucking fives here. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm married up.
Yeah.
I'm married up.
The height, I mean, it's pretty good though. I like when they
Yeah,
take
that's
the
good
time
too.
to really get it in there. Like this is a good one.
Well,
Sometimes-
they got the skin tone. They lightened me up a bit. Like it's
yeah.
good.
They
did a good
look.
job.
They
They did a good
got
job.
the cut. They got the cut of the V-neck there. So if you're listening to this, someone has what's a term I'm allowed to use now for these?
Listen, I'll tell you right now. If you want to know what the term
a
is for
little
all you
person.
got,
Turn
no,
them into a
listen,
little
no,
person.
listen. But you want to know? I got a term for the people who made this and all the people who laugh at it. You know what you are? You're height supremacists.
Oh yeah, that's good.
All right. So I want you to know that.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it. I've been this height forever. I'm good with it. It's fine. Just live, with your height supremacy and think that's fine.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Next we had Christopher Wade Hopkins, who also joined the ATT Baby Club, and he
Nice.
was wearing his ATT sweatshirt for the maternity pictures.
That's
this
fine.
Buddy,
is-
that's like fresh out of the oven pictures. That's the hospital blanket. Like that's buddy.
That's
That's cool.
That's the new Theorite Salem. Great name. Cute baby. So congratulations, Christopher, and welcome, Salem. Next we had. Oh, this is the one I was telling you about. The 69 alligators.
Nice.
I knew I had it somewhere. Yeah, break. So I
That's
had
not
to
official
lock it up.
number. Somebody just made that fucking.
Yeah.
Somebody made that up.
That's
69
Matt
alligators.
Orwin. And he
Or it
was
could be, I don't
asking,
know,
are they
but-
end to end or all smushed together?
Yeah.
So that's hilarious. So, anyways, jump on our Facebook group.
As if those
What?
are the fucking memes you choose when there was the greatest meme of all time
What was that one?
posted
Send
and
it
you
to me.
skipped it
Well, these were so that
and you fucking skipped this, which was the greatest one that we've seen on our fucking group ever.
Okay, hold on. I'll
And you
pull it.
missed that.
No. In
Oh.
fairness, I'm not.
Oh,
I'll pull that up. In fairness, because you're calling me out. But I will say that That one may have been the most on the next Space News because I just go by most popular, right? So that one is because it just got posted. It's low
No,
on the
of
numbers.
course. Yeah. It's
So
because
where is it?
buddy.
This one. That's the one, right?
I don't know. I can't see it.
Oh, that one by
Yeah,
Aaron
That's not.
Miklusak.
That is
That's,
the fucking best. The best part is too is they didn't even Photoshop that. They just took that picture from you at Luke's wedding.
Yeah, that's
'Cause it looks
that is
just-
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son does have grumpy. He's got the grumpy face down.
He's got the Renner face. I
Just-
messaged you.
just
It's perfect.
miserable. All like
Yeah.
just perma frown all the time, just like resting bitch face. It's hilarious. So
Yeah, it's-
cute.
It's
you know,
the Renner men. It's just natural. for you guys.
I'm gonna pull up one more since we're doing it this way, just because I thought this was fucking cool. This.
Oh
guy-
yeah, this is really cool.
Why isn't it showing his name? I for some reason it's not showing his name.
I'll find it. You talk about it. I'll find
Oh,
it.
there we go. Chris Tover. Him and his coworker are working in West Virginia. They're based out of Texas. They're checking out some TNT bunkers, and in one of the bunkers, spray painted, we got some Theorite vandals tagging
No
alien theorists
way.
theorizing.
No way.
Pretty fucking cool.
That's cool. Well,
That's-
it's either that or Chris Tover
Or he did it.
lying, and he did it.
Which is still cool.
That's
so.
still cool.
Just
Yeah.
like.
But I don't
Right.
see. Look at his fingers. I don't see no paint on them, and everyone knows it's impossible to use spray paint without getting paint on your fingers. None on his boots. Well, what's that on the bottom left there on the boot? Is that purple? I don't know.
Scuff marks. He's a working man.
Well, no,
Blue
but the
collar,
thing is,
everyday
this is
man.
old because someone spray painted partially over it, right? With this, I don't know if that's a wiener or a smiley face,
Either I'll take it.
but
Either.
either way, that's cool. That's really cool.
That's right.
Fucking awesome.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, you gotta tag it. You could have just done the symbol. You probably would have saved some paint, right? But
No,
hey,
they
we
did
like
it the hard way.
We did
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate
That's
that.
I'm
Got the
surprised they
spelling
spelled
right.
it. Spelled it
Yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
It usually takes me second try, anyways, to get it too. So, anything else before we sign this one out?
No.
All right, and if you're not on our Patreon already, help out the show, help grow the show. Patreon.com/Alien Theorist Podcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to everything we do. It's been a little bit of a weird couple weeks with all this new babies and stuff coming in, but we'll be ramping it up here in the next couple weeks. And if you go to alientheorist.com, you can just hit that support tab. There's other ways. If you don't like Patreon, there we got Supercast, we got PayPal. You can just fucking send it right to our bank accounts. Anyways, as we always say at the end of those things, keep those eyes on the skies. Peace, everybody.